Welcome to SETA Social, the voice of sustainable energy technology in Asia. And today we're delighted to be with Professor Dr. Tatchai Sumitra, the Chairman of the Organizing Committee of SETA 2018. Welcome, Dr. Sumitra.
Thank you. Hello.
Can you tell us, what do you see as the challenges facing Asia for the energy consumption over the next decade?
Yes, Asia is actually the center, the world center for manufacturing right now, and will be in the next decade. So the needs of energy will increase rapidly, tremendously. So I think that the challenges we face now are mainly how can we procure enough energy to satisfy our needs, and at the same time not causing too much or severe impacts on the environment and the global climate.
The carbon emissions are a big issue with fossil fuels.
Yes.
And whilst there's an abundant resource of fossil fuels, it's obviously limited. Then there's the renewables, where you've got wind, solar and hydroelectric. But that's inconsistent, it's not always on supply. What do you see as the solution for the world's power supply in the next decade?
From my point of view, I see that you have to start from what you have now, the existing ones, and then you have to plan carefully for your future. Of course, we have to go from the conventional energy sources to the sustainable one. But there is a transition between now and then. So you have to plan carefully, and maybe in this transition period, you have to use both the conventional energies and renewable energies in various forms, of course.
I know there was a backlash against nuclear following the tragedy in Japan, but do you see a future where nuclear has a slot in our energy supply in the future?
Yes, I think so, because nuclear is the form of energy that emits no carbon. So it is a no carbon source of energy. Of course, if you don't take care of the manufacturing of the plants itself, the nuclear plants do not emit carbon dioxide. So it is a form that we should consider. Whether or not you use it is another matter. But it is a real form of low carbon energy sources.
What is the solution for energy diversity?
I think that we have to live with the real world, that we have many forms of energy. So you have to choose it wisely and use it wisely. You cannot jump from the existing one to the completely renewable energies for both technical and economical reasons. But you can plan it from now to the future. How can you go from now to the step you want to be? But you have to plan wisely, taking into account economic factors, technologies, and of course the wealth of the country.
Is sustainable energy science fiction or science fact today?
From my point of view, it is a fact. But how can you go there from now, from here? It's another question. You have to plan it, like I said, carefully and follow the plan.
Does more need to be done with Asia's renewable policy and strategy?
Again, countries in Asia, we have different countries in Asia, most developed and less developed countries. And each country has different availability of energies. Some may have indigenous energies, some may not have, in terms of renewable. But as a whole, I think that if we see Asia as a region, we could be self-sufficient in energy, especially in renewable energies, if we are interconnected, of course. So what have to be done? It should be planned carefully and maybe discuss about interconnectivity among countries.
Dr. Tatchai, what keeps you awake at night? What are your key concerns about Asia's energy consumption and our future? Because we seem addicted to power. This generation is just consuming so much energy. What's the roadmap ahead? What's keeping you awake at night?
Well, usually I sleep well every night, but if you ask about concerns, I'm concerned about the poor planning. Planning in a hasty and maybe emotional way, and you end up with not following the plan. And that is my concern, because if you don't follow the plan well, then you end up adopting solutions that are not well planned and not to the road of sustainability. So the road to sustainability will be longer by that way.
And when you talk about technologies, are you referring to power plant technologies, or are there elements of, say, eco-cars and other forms of power saving within our life?
For technologies, I mean all of the things you mentioned, because technologies cover everything. For example, if you want to use electric vehicles, if you want to use the solar power appropriately, you may need energy storage, which is one of our main problems now. Energy storage, batteries or other form of storage. So development in energy storage is going very fast, but not fast enough to give us the solutions to our problems. So sometimes when you talk about sustainable energy, but if you don't have technology available, you cannot do it. You just wish, but you cannot do it. You have to have technologies available.
And who's leading the way in terms of technological development? Is it the Americans, is it Europe, or is it within Asia that are pioneering this new development of storage and sustainable energy?
But I think that all countries, either in North America, in Europe, in Middle East, Israel, for instance, in Asia, Japan, Korea, China, they are doing big research in power storage or batteries. So everyone is doing that. Well, SETA 2018 will show you that the digital technology can make an impact on your life, starting from energy. So we call it energy. Digital energy, digital technology applied to energy systems, and that will impact your life in every way.
What do you really see as a solution for energy in maybe 20 years' time? Because the world is consuming so much energy. Can wind farms supply energy? Can hydroelectric power? Because coal and fossil fuels are technically on their way out, aren't they, from what I understand? So where do we stand? What does anybody know what the future holds and where we should be moving in terms of the renewables, in terms of nuclear? What's the future ahead for us? It's quite worrying.
Well, I think that in terms of energy, you have to have energy anyway for the modern life. You cannot go back and live without energy like time before. So in one way or another, you have to procure energy. But how to procure it wisely, that is the question, depending on availability in the countries or in the region, depending on the wealth of the country, depending on the environment, local environment issues, and also to the global climate change, for example. So I think that we have to go towards the renewable energies or other forms of low carbon energies like nuclear and other things. But in the meantime, you have to use your existing power or a new one that can give you enough power to go on to the next step. You cannot stay without power for a period. So I think that you have to balance between all forms of energy and choose the one that is suitable for your situation. Each country may have different situation, but the aim is the same, that we should go for the sustainable energy, not to not sustainable or the, like you mentioned, the decreasing trend of coal or gas or whatever. Of course, we should not add more of that kind of power plants, but we may have to add them for the near future, but with a clear plan to decrease it along the way. But you have to have a clear plan where and when do you want to arrive.
But can technology turn those dirty fuels that are putting carbon into the atmosphere into a more cleaner source?
We talk about the coal capture technology, meaning that you capture coal before you emit into the air. So you don't have combustion gas like carbon dioxide because you capture the coal before, but you take out the energy from the coal. But then you have to expose of the coal anyway. Someone would like to put it underground or underwater, but then it will become another issue, whether it can be leaked out from the storage into the environment or not. So I think every system that we make, also renewable energy system, would have some impact on the environment. But it depends on how well you can control it to be within the limit of acceptability.
Great. And for anybody watching this video and they're thinking of coming to SETA 2018, what's in store? Why should they come to the show, an exhibition?
Well, this is an experience that is unique for us. I mean, SETA is Asia's unique platform which talk about sustainable energy. We cover from policy and planning to electrical and energy technologies. We cover transport. We cover also and mainly renewable energies and sustainable development. Like this year we have a big event about smart urbanization, which is a key to our exhibition. So people from all sectors, either from government sectors or private or industry, can come because it's a non-governmental platform. It's organized by a private organization, and they can present their ideas, they can talk about technologies, discuss and share experience and knowledge freely without constraint. and even doing business in this event. So I think that it would be very useful for people to come.
Professor Dr. Tatchai Sumitra, Chairman of the Organising Committee of SETA 2018, thank you for meeting with us today, and thank you for watching SETA Social.